Hey guys, I'm Becky and welcome to another reading vlog. Today it is Christmas Eve. I have just gotten home from being with my family all day. I had a really good day and I had some pretty cool gifts. I'm not sure if I'm going to show any of them to you. Like, a lot of them are like useful things. Like, I got a new case for my tablet, a new like yarn organizer bag for when I'm crocheting, some cool stitch markers. Maybe I'll show you those at some point when I use them. What else? I got a nice blanket, some new of the like platform UGG-like shoes, but they're from Bear Paw. I got a dual bed warmer so that my husband and I can choose our own settings on each side. Lovely. Oh, I had to show you something that's so freaking cool that I got from my cousin Livy. So I got these Funko Pops, and when I first opened it, I was like, who are these people? And then I finished opening it, and it is customizable Funkos. So that's me with my leopard print jacket, a book, glasses, our two cats, and then my husband. And our names are on the boxes and everything. Like, this is such a cool gift. Each of the cousins got one, so it's so awesome. Everybody looked like each other. It was so freaking cool. But tomorrow is Christmas, and it is going to be my husband and I's like first time having the entire Christmas day to ourselves. My brother-in-law is going to come over during the afternoon, but otherwise, like, we'll be exchanging gifts. We each went to Five Below with a budget and had to buy stuff for each other within that budget. And then we're wrapping them and putting them under the tree at separate times. So I'm putting mine under the tree tonight when he falls asleep, and then he's going to put mine under the tree when I'm asleep in the morning, and then we'll wake up and have our little Christmas together, and I'm so excited about it. And then on Saturday is my Christmas with my immediate family, like my mom, my brother, and stuff like that. So I am so excited. I have recently reached my Goodreads goal. I think I'm at 101 books. Let me see. Oh, I'm at 102 books, and I have read 9 books this month, and I definitely plan on reading a lot more. I did just finish Barbarian's Bane, I believe. It's Bridget's book. Last night I finished it. You guys, that book is so annoying. It is so freaking annoying. On one hand, like, I understand where Bridget is coming from and her fear and things like that. I like that they talk about therapy and stuff like that, but my god, what's she doing? I'm just like, he's just so big and I'm just so tiny. Shut up. It was so annoying. So I gave it 2 stars. I'm pretty positive it's the lowest rated Ice Planet Barbarian book, but whatever, it's over. I don't even feel like it added much to like the overall story. It was just whatever. So I have started Barbarian's Bride, which is the last official book in the Ice Planet Barbarian series. After this, there's like a little like Christmas novella just to see like what the kids are up to. And I'm hoping and thinking that like later down the road, Ruby is probably going to start a new series with the children of the Ice Planet Barbarians. That would be super cool, especially because is it this one? Yeah, in Barbarian's Bride, we're following, I can't remember what the characters' names are. That's horrible. But it's the one who has the twin girls, Anna and Elsa. And one of the girls, she was talking to one of the other kids. And that kid supposedly has like a second sight, like, can't think of what, that one of the barbarians has the ability to like see into the future, and I think it's his offspring or his nephew also might have that gift. So like, he's at an age where they're not sure if it's just stories or if he really does have the gift, and he tells, I can't remember if it's Anna or Elsa, but he tells one of them that either he's their mate or he's going to be their mate, or that one of the other kids is their mate. So that's really interesting. So it's like, okay, so are you hinting at that we could get that later on? Or is there going to be more Ice Planet Barbarian books down the road? I don't know, but I'm here for it. But it is the last official one, so I'm very excited to be finally at the end of this series. My god, it is book 19. 19. Plus there are novellas and things like that, so holy crap. But I'm currently reading that. I do also have a couple holiday romances that I want to read and a couple other non-holiday related books that I want to get to. So I just figured I would take you on this little Christmas adventure with me and vlog and read as many books as possible. I am off work until January 6th, so I plan on recording this Christmas vlog, is what I'm going to basically call it, until maybe New Year's Eve morning I'll end it, and then New Year's Eve night I will start my first books of 2025 vlog, because I always like to do that. For some reason, like the 100th book, and not for some reason, I'm sure a lot of people have it, but I'm one of those people who whatever your goal is, the book that reaches that goal needs to be important, and then the first book of the year always needs to be important. And I just think it kind of just like sets the tone. Like I always try to read 100 books, so I always want my 100th book of the year to like be a 5-star, or at least something that I've been like really wanting to read or something like that. And then my first book of the year, I always again want it to be a 5-star, because I just want to start out the year right. So that is what you have to look forward to, because I don't go back to work till the 6th. So I'm going to be reading a lot, crafting, relaxing. I'm so freaking excited about it. So right now I am going to edit a video that is going up on Christmas Day, which is my 2024 reading journal walkthrough. I decided to record it just to kind of like show you guys how I do my reading journal in case you want to create one. And also if you have any ideas of things that I might be missing, like, hey, have you ever thought about like making this kind of tracker or whatever, let me know, because that would be interesting. So I'm going to edit that. I might work on my reading journal for 2025 for a little bit, because I also need to make my January spreads, my Instagram templates. I also thought of another tracker to add and things like that, so I kind of want to fool around with it. And I think while I'm doing that, I will be listening to more of Barbarian's Bride. I'm pretty excited. Hello guys, it is Christmas night. I had a really, really good day. I had some cinnamon roll waffles. I'm about to eat tacos in just a little bit, and I've just gotten to relax, sleep in, open up gifts. Just fantastic day. I did last night finish Barbarian's Bride, so basically start and finish it, because I was only on chapter 3 when I updated you guys. So this book is following Nora and, is it Taushen? Is that who Nora's with? Or Ayako? Whoever Nora's mate is. I've already forgotten. It's following them, and Nora is a freak. She likes to be submissive. She likes to kind of like lightly be choked, spanked, that kind of thing. Her mate is very on board of like, men don't hurt women. So the first time that they mate, it's pretty rough because he can't control himself because of how hard the Kui is pushing them together. So they have some pretty rough sex. She is absolutely in love with it, but then he realizes like just how rough he was with her and feels bad. And so we have this giant miscommunication throughout the entire book, which really drove me crazy. But overall, the book wasn't bad. So we had this huge miscommunication about like, he can tell something's wrong because since then he has just wanted to have like the gentlest, slowest sex possible, and that's not what she is into, and so she's not really getting off or anything. She's faking it. He can tell something's wrong, but he doesn't know what, and so instead of just talking with her, he just talks to everyone else around her, and then gets this idea that maybe it's because she's Jewish and they didn't have a wedding. So like maybe it's just, you know, like she's missing home and her culture and things like that. So maybe she wants to get married. So then he like throws together this giant wedding when really all she wanted was just rougher sex. If they would have just spoke to each other. Just saying. Now to be fair for Nora, she did bring up a couple times, I guess in the past, about like maybe wanting to be spanked or something, and he was like supremely against it, or for things to be a little bit rougher, and he was just totally against it. He thinks that she's a virgin and that he has just shown her what sex should be, so now she just thinks because that first time was rough that's how it's supposed to be, and he's like, I feel so guilty, I hurt her, you know, and he really didn't. He thinks that he did, so it's just like, you know how I feel about miscommunication. Just speak, just talk to each other. While it did have a main factor of miscommunication, I did really enjoy it, and it was really good, so I am going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. But now we are going to move on to something else. We're going away from Ice Planet Barbarian for a little while because technically Ice Planet Barbarians is done. The original series I have completed, which has been a goal of mine for so long. So now I just have like the little novella to read, but I want to read it in the publication order. So I need to catch up with Ice Home and then come back to this. So if you don't know, there's always an author's note at the end of each of Ruby Dixon's books where she kind of like explains like either the choices she made or where the series is going to go or, you know, whatever. And I always read them because there's good information in there. And she does talk about how people have been asking for more from this world, more for the future of this world and things like that. So I'm not sure yet if this series is officially done, because as of right now it is officially done, or is it going to restart up with the Offspring? Are they going to be their own series? I feel like they should be their own series, their own spinoff. Time will tell, but I'm very excited about it. So we are going to move in a different direction, and we are going to return back to my holiday TBR, if you will, because I did put quite a many holiday romances on my TBR this month, and I've pretty much gotten to them all. And some of them were huge duds. Technically, I have 3 left on my TBR, but one of them was supposed to have been published on the 16th, I believe, and it did, but the file that uploaded was not the updated file that the author put out, so she pulled it from Amazon, and she has been fighting and working with Amazon to try to get the updated version put back up, and it still hasn't yet. Like, every single day I'm checking. I've also subscribed to her newsletter specifically, where this is the only update you will ever get from her is just about when this book has been republished. I think if you purchase the copy, you're getting the updated file, but the Kindle Unlimited copy is the one that's messed up. And I'm like, I really want to buy it. So that one is like out of the running for the moment. So the book I'm going to start is one that I have been eagerly awaiting to start for like a good chunk of the year. I've heard amazing things about this book. I think I put it on my TBR last December, and I've just been waiting all year long to read it. Even though you can read a Christmas romance anytime, but it's just like there's something really special about it, like Christmas time and reading them. I am going to start Lovelight Farms by B.K. Borison? Yeah, by B.K. Borison. Like I said, I've heard great things about this book. I'm very, very excited. So I think that's what I'm going to start tonight. I am going to go downstairs, get some delicious taco dinner, and then start Lovelight Farms. So I will update you guys when 2% mark. Okay, and we are immediately back because there was one other thing I wanted to update you guys on. I asked for a new case for my tablet. This is what the back looks like, so it is clear. It's supposed to be used for the version of my tablet that comes in a colored edition, but it's still cute. And I have decided to decorate it because the front is just this green, and that's it. There's nothing splint green. So I did add this little cute sticker here because this is what you'll be seeing when it's propped up, because it can be propped up like this or like this. So yeah, very excited about it. So the front of it, I decided to put some stickers on it. So we have, if I can find the shops, I think this is like Misty Bondy or Misty Bond, I think might be the artist name. She's a local artist. This one, like Black Cat Magic or something. I will try to link them down below. This, I think, came in like a sticker pack. I will attempt to find the artist of this, again, another local artist, and I got this at like a farmer's market. And then this one is also Misty Bondy or Misty Bond. So yeah, aren't they super cute? I do have some room, as you can see, to add some smaller things, but I don't have any smaller stickers to fit there. And then the same thing here, like there is room to grow, if you will. Yeah, I'm very excited because it was looking a little blank and bland, and now it is so, so cute. Now to eat and read. Hey guys, it is Thursday. I did not get a chance to start anything last night. I ended up eating dinner and then watching a show called Tires on Netflix with my husband for far too long, like a few hours, and I think they're like 30-minute episodes. It's a like scripted reality show in the sense of like The Office. So it's not like actual reality, but it's like, you know, everyday life in a like workplace comedy drama, whatever you want to call it. And it follows a tire shop, and it's absolutely ridiculous. It may not be for all, but it is for some, and I'm the some. So we were watching that. And then I went to bed at like 12:30, Just woke up at 11. I don't know who I am, where I am. That was wild. I don't know how or why I needed that much sleep, but I did, and we're here. And I'm kind of hoping that I can get and stick to my normal sleep schedule while on vacation, just so that it's easier when I go back to work. But we'll see what the cards hold for us. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to start Lovelight Farms while I put my laundry away, because that desperately needs to get done.
In a flurry of white. Listen, I need you to stop talking about pizza for a second.
Alright, we are now back in our home away from home. Even though it's in my home. My office, where we always are. What's going on with this focus? Psychotic. I'm here to update you because I just got an email that I am so excited about that I screamed and kind of flailed around and scared Pepe. And that is, I put in a request for a NetGalley book and was approved, and I really didn't think it was going to happen. My NetGalley score is not that fantastic. I'm working on it, but it's not that fantastic. So I do have a second NetGalley account through my library, which I always get approved for what I request because it is fantastic. I only request things that I 1000% want to read. I read them and then I review them. So I think my score on there is like, 90 plus. But I did it on my personal one, and I was like, if I get denied, then I'll do the library one. Because I never do both of them. And I was approved, and it is Don't Let Him In by Lisa Jewell. You guys know that I am obsessed with Lisa Jewell. I love her. She's one of my all-time thriller writers. I have loved every single book that I have read by her. She is a true goddess. And she's coming out with a new book this summer, and it's on NetGalley, and I got it. I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited. I don't think it comes out till like June or July, so that's nuts. But I requested it. I've been approved. BookBite Reviews has been approved. Not the library. I was looking through my email, and today is one of those stuff your Kindle days. So I have decided to instead hang out downstairs playing Disney Dreamlight while listening to my audiobook, which is really good so far, and we'll talk about in a second. I've decided to come in here and stuff my Kindle and then maybe do some updating on my reading journal and my book stats like that. So let's now talk about Lovelight Farms. I am really liking it. I did not read the synopsis to remind myself what this book is about. I decided just to jump in. And it is about a woman who owns a tree farm named Lala. She has kind of like a not traumatic past, but a pretty sad past, and that is that when she was in her 20s, her mom passed away. She bought this tree farm kind of on a whim of this is going to be a romantic Hallmark movie kind of moment where, families come together and will give so much joy and blah, blah, blah. Her father impregnated her mom and then ran out on them, and then it turns out that he had a wife who was pregnant as well. So when she was born, I think her brother was born 8 months after her or something. Obviously it was supposed to be a one-night stand situation. So he's never been in her life, but now he is. And I think it's just for Thanksgiving he invites her every year. I don't know if they see each other any other time, but it's not even on actual Thanksgiving. It's a special Thanksgiving without any other family there so that no one really knows about her existence. So I think it's the first weekend of November or something. And she has this best friend who she met right after her mom passed away, who she is in love with, but has never said anything or done anything because she doesn't want to lose him, because she's used to people leaving her behind. You know, her mom passed away, her dad doesn't care about her, that kind of thing. So she would rather just be friends, pining after him, than to try anything and then he disappear. Now her tree farm is also borderline failing. There's been like a lot of, not necessarily the business is bad or the people she's with are bad, it's that like her deliveries aren't being delivered on time, they're in debt, a crop of trees isn't growing correctly, somebody just smashed all the pumpkins in the pumpkin field, you know, like it's one thing after another, you know, there's raccoons in the barn, it's always just something, and she has like taken her own pay cuts in order to try to make sure that her workers are paid in full and they have no idea that like the business is struggling. So she's also has that on top of her, and she signs up for this like kind of like a contest, I guess. It's a Instagram influencer who picks like a small business to feature, and you apply in order to see if she will feature you on her site, and she did. And when she did, she decided to say that she bought this farm with her boyfriend and, you know, make it this like romantic story. And she's like, you really, really need to win this. It would bring us so much exposure and it would possibly save the business. Now the problem is she doesn't have a boyfriend. And she also doesn't think that she would ever get picked, so she didn't really think about it when she put in the application. She just tried to like do whatever it took to try to win, but she never thought that she would. Well, she has. And she needs a boyfriend stat. So she decides to ask her best friend if he will be her fake boyfriend. And I'm thinking we're only getting her POV, and I wish we had his POV so freaking bad, because I feel like the exact same feelings are on the other side, but he also doesn't want to scare her away. That like he loves her so much he would rather her be like happy and content than by ruining anything, you know? So I'm just like, girl, this is fantastic. So I am, how far? I am 25% of the way through the book, and I am enjoying it so much. Like, we just got to the part where, like, they're officially fake dating. Like, they've gone around town because they live in a small town. So he's like, we kind of have to tell everyone because this is a gossipy small town. And if this influencer shows up and everyone's like, what do you mean they're dating? I think it's going to blow your cover. And if you lie in the application, then you're immediately disqualified. Like, she's not going to hear, you know, the sob story or whatever. Like, it's just done. They have to convince everybody that this is real. And something else that like is making me think that, sorry, this like cord was just like dangling. Something else that is making me think that feelings are on both sides is not only because of how like touchy-feely he kind of is with her, like he always is like touching her in some way, but it's never technically in like a sexual or romantic way. It can easily very misconstrued as just friendly touching. Not only that, and he is like a little bit flirty. I mean, like, you know how you are with your closest friends. You're kind of flirty. Your best friends. There's no boundaries. That's happening, but also he was saying like, oh, I think she brings up like, how are we going to tell the town that we broke up? And he's like, well, why do we even have to tell them? Why, how, like, we're already kind of basically dating even though we're just friends, so what's the difference between how we've been acting so we've officially come out as a couple versus how we were acting before? So, you know, like if anyone asks, I guess we could just tell them outright that we're not dating, but nothing has to change. And I'm just like, come on, come on. I am here for this. I really, really wish that like all of a sudden we would like finally get his POV, because I'm telling you, this guy is obsessed with her. But I think that's the whole point of the book, is that you're supposed to feel like, is this real or not? And I do enjoy that, but it's just so much better when you have a fake dating where you get dual POV, because then you can see the pining on both sides and you're just like, I know everything and I can't wait for them to find out. But I think instead we're going to get like a third act breakup situation. I hope we don't, but I'm really excited about it, and I can already see, because I know that this is part of a series, so I can already see where the series might go. So I'm going to stuff my Kindle and then continue listening to this book, and I will tell you what I think once I get there. Good morning, party people. It is Friday. It is the day before my immediate family's Christmas. So Christmas is still not over for me. I'm excited. Today I have so much to do. So I have finished my handmade present that I got everyone, which was crocheting everyone a coaster. That is done. I need to make brownies for my stepdad. I need to make the hoodies that I'm making them. and I need to help my husband finish up his ornaments that he's making everybody. So, a busy day ahead of us. I have been right now just trying to wash all the dishes. It is my husband's chore, but we're supposed to be taking turns. Like when one of us starts to get overwhelmed, we have to wash them all one last time so that the next person can start from scratch, and then they take it over until they get sick of it, because we both hate dishes. We hate dishes so much, and we don't have a dishwasher, and it's the worst thing ever. We are hoping to move into a new place in 2025, and that it will hopefully have a dishwasher, so here's to hoping the odds are in my favor. But I decided, since I'm on vacation, to kind of surprise him by doing the dishes for him, because I know that he's been very overwhelmed. He has been dealing with a lot of stress lately, both at work and in his family life, and I kind of want to just surprise him. Unfortunately, I did do a good chunk, but I ran out of hot water, so now I have to wait 30 minutes. He's supposed to be home in like an hour, so I'm hoping I can get like majority of it done. He'll probably be coming home towards the end of that or in the middle of it, but then it's still like the gesture is still there. And then it's like all that's left is a little bit, and maybe it'll kind of like either inspire him to finish it for me, or I just continue doing it. But yeah, so I've been doing that. I did last night finish a book. I finished Lovelight Farms. And I'm still like, I'm waffling with my review. I initially gave it something, but the more I think about it, the more I think I'm going to change it. But I don't know what my like Goodreads star rating is going to be. So I initially gave it 5 stars. I did really enjoy it. It was a really good book. I feel like the main love interests are very made for each other. I see, you know, pieces in the background of who other books could be about. So I'm excited. So I definitely want to continue reading the series. It's really good. But the whole crux of this entire book is if she just had open communication with the people in her life, none of these things would be problems. Now, I do still think that like her business would be not doing as well if it wasn't for like this contest and the fact that like what this contest brings up. So like because of the contest, she's having to like really reevaluate like her business going forward, her relationships, and things like that, and everything that's going on the farm, like all of these like weird things that keep happening. Like it is an actual person doing it, and I can understand how like all of them individually you're like it's not a big deal, but like it really is. It really is. So we do have like this kind of like subplot going on of like who is messing with her, but it's not extremely stressful, so that was really nice. But again, if she was just open about communicating everything, none of this would be a problem. And that is my number one least favorite trope, is miscommunication. It drives me absolutely nuts. It makes me hate things. So it's like, I almost feel like maybe it should get 4 stars, but then on like Storygraph and things like that, give it like a 4.5. Because overall it was really good. It was really well done. I really enjoyed it. It felt swoony. It is a bit steamy, just so you know. But there's also that communication trope. Because last night I was like, I really don't know where to put this. So then it's like, is it even a 5-star if it's not an immediate? This should be 5 stars. And I was like, I did really enjoy it, and I couldn't stop listening to it. So maybe it's 5 stars. But no, I think it is a 4. So the next book I'm going to start is Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. I did read the synopsis of this, and it does have me a little bit like, do I care? Is this a book I actually want to read? But I'm going to go ahead and try it out. So it is about a girl who is a violinist, I believe, and the orchestra or whatever it's called, the ensemble that she is with, they have like a big show coming up, and one of the people in the group suggest everyone coming to her family's like cottage for the week, and it will give them like so much time to practice before this big event. So they all agree, but unfortunately the person's house that they're at, I think it's her sister, brings a guest to Christmas, and that is her girlfriend, and that just so happens to be our violinist's ex-girlfriend. And actually it's her ex-fiance who left her at the altar. She is not happy about this and very distraught, as one would think, and they decide to pretend to just not even know each other because she's literally not even willing to talk to her, as I feel is right. But then we are also getting dual POV from the ex-fiance, and apparently she is a guitarist. She was in a band. She's recently been kicked out of her band, and it seems like maybe there's like some stuff going on in her personal life that she didn't divulge to her fiance, and, you know, she feels awful about what happened. She completely understands why she's not talking to her and why, you know, they ended up the way that they did, but she does feel terrible. So you would think it would be like a second chance romance, but then we also have this like subplot, it seems like, kind of, or I guess like a plot propeller, if you will. I think it's like the grandma sets everybody up on these like speed dates, which is weird because she's already currently seeing somebody. So why on earth would she go on these dates? It doesn't make any sense. So then we've also had this thing of like them going on all these dates with all these different people, but then it seems like, you know, they're gonna find their way back to each other. It's just, I don't know. Like right now, like my heart is telling me this is not gonna be the book for me because a second chance romance, you really gotta, I am a grudge holder, okay? So you really gotta prove yourself to get a second chance. And right now, I don't see any way of proving, like, it's not even like she's head over heels and finds out that she's gonna be here and it's gonna make it up to her. Like, she's literally dating somebody else and it just is a coincidence that they are thrown in the same house for the next week. You know, so it's like, I don't know. But I like this author and I feel like if anyone is going to convince me that this is a good book, it's this person, but I could be wrong. So I don't know. I'm gonna see if there's an audio. If so, then I'll probably start that when I go back to doing dishes. This round, I was just watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, which is so nuts. I've never watched it, so I'm on season 1, and it's just, my favorite Real Housewives, which is also like the only one that I've really like stuck with and have dived into, is the Real Housewives of Potomac. I love them so much. So I decided to try Salt Lake City because I was like, I think on Thanksgiving, or no, when we were decorating the tree at my mom's, I just randomly put it on the TV as like something to watch, and there was just so much like drama and ridiculous drama, and that's why I love reality TV. And right now I'm kind of like, I mean, it's entertaining, but I also don't really care about majority of these people. There's really only one person that I actually kind of care about, and I think I'm going to read her 2 bios that have come out, or at least the first one, and then see if I want to read the second one, which is Heather. Heather's the only one that I like actually care about, and only because it feels like she's being very real and authentic, which is like, you know, we all know it's not exactly true, but she's the only one that really feels like she's living an authentic life and is healing, and I kind of want more for her, and the rest are just being catty. And unless my other Christmas book finally gets released on Kindle Unlimited, it might be my last Christmas read, which would track because Christmas ends for me tomorrow, so it's like that feels like a natural ending point. But I will update you guys once I start something and tell you my thoughts and feelings. But right now, I think I'm just gonna like take a second to chill before I have to go back to dishes. I've done round 2 of dishes. I think I just have one more round, I think. My husband's just gotten home, so we are going to run to Aldi because we have to go grocery shopping because he's making Christmas dinner tomorrow, so we have to get all the supplies. And then I'll come home and finish the dishes and then begin all of my crafts. I did start Make the Season Bright, and it is pretty good so far. So I could have sworn the synopsis said she was bringing her girlfriend, which turns out to be Brighton, the ex-fiance. But they're just friends. They're not girlfriends at all, and it's made very, very clear to Charlotte that they're not together, so I don't know why. Either I misread it or the synopsis got it wrong, but no one is under the impression that Brighton is dating anybody. So they're both single, and then now they're gonna go on like all these speed dates and stuff like that and reconnect. Charlotte is pretending that she doesn't know Brighton. Brighton is trying to go along with it, but is kind of like needling her a bit. And it's very interesting. There's definitely high tension there. They definitely both still love each other, but there's trauma and, you know, miscommunication, I'm sure. So it'll be interesting to see from Brighton's point of view of why she left her at the altar and to see how they come back together. Hey guys, it is Monday. I haven't updated you since, when did I update you? Sunday? Saturday? Friday? I don't know. I don't know when I last updated you. I think the last time I updated you was Friday. I think so. I think I had just started Make the Season Bright. So, I had Christmas on Saturday with my immediate family. It was very, very lovely. I got everything done on Friday that I was trying to get done, thank goodness, except for all the dishes. I did not finish the dishes because a good chunk of them need to soak. It's like, you know, pots and things like that. Saturday was absolutely lovely. My parents loved the gifts that we got them. I had a really good time. We mostly got gift cards, so I have, of course, spent the gift cards. Most of them were for Amazon, and that's because I usually do an Amazon wish list, and there were, in my opinion, quite a many good thing to buy me, and so they didn't know what to buy me, so they just got me gift cards, which is totally fine. So I have spent those. So in the next vlog, in my first books of 2025 vlog, which I will be starting on the 1st, you should hopefully be seeing the things that I bought. Be excited about it, and it should make for some fun content, because I feel like we don't have very much fun content in this Christmas vlog. This holiday season has been rough. Let me talk about books real quick, and then we'll get into that. So I did finish Make the Season Bright. I finished it this morning. I am giving it 3.75 stars. I enjoyed it, but at the same time, I see where everyone else is coming from who didn't like it. It's definitely not a 5-star, but I feel like I liked it more than a 3-star. So it's a 3.75, 4-star, and everything else. I definitely saw the pining, the yearning, the sex scenes were great, but when it comes to a second chance romance, it's kind of hard to do because you have to convince me that they were meant to be together, that it was absolutely heartbreaking to not be together, and that there's a good reason and that they still are meant to be together now. And that's sometimes hard to do, and I feel like this book didn't fully accomplish it. It felt very much that they got together kind of slightly out of convenience at the beginning. They were both each other's sexual awakening, and then just kind of like went through the steps of what you're supposed to do in a relationship, not necessarily, I wouldn't say not wanting to, but they just didn't think everything through. There wasn't a good plan put in place. It was just kind of like, this is what we're supposed to do. This is the next step in our relationship, so I guess we're doing that. So then they break up, and it turns out that it was kind of like on both sides of fault. So Brighton did leave Charlotte at the altar, but Charlotte was also kind of like focused on her own career and not, she realized, but she wouldn't acknowledge just how badly Brighton was suffering and not coping well with the move to New York. She didn't want to move to New York. She was never meant to be in New York, and it wasn't meant to be. So it was like kind of fault on both sides, and so we do have like that growth and that acknowledgement and everything of what each other did to each other, and we do have like a reconciliation, but it's very much out of lust, I feel, and also closure. And then we do have like a second act breakup kind of, and then we do have a resolution, of course, because it's a romance, and it just feels like, are they meant to be together? Because in my opinion, it just seems like one of them has to suffer in order for them to be together. Like, one's career is in New York and one's career is in Nashville. So it's like, how, I know like right now, it's fine if one of them goes to the other place. I won't tell you who or what happens, but I just don't see how it can work out long term. Like, I feel like we're going to be back in the same spot, or we're going to have to find some middle ground going forward. But they do also have the tools to kind of like communicate better. So I don't know. But I did enjoy it. I liked all these side characters. I liked how they balanced really well with like showing flashbacks and showing present day. And it felt real and it felt messy. Like, it didn't feel perfect. This wasn't, the perfect couple who are meant to be together, and it's just nuts that because I feel like if you're truly, truly meant to be together, you wouldn't have broken up in the first place, especially for this long, because I think it's been like 5 years. So, on one hand, it's like, it's very messy, but that's real. So that's like where my dilemma is. So I think I have time to read one more book before the new year. And I think that is going to be Assistant to the Villain, which I cannot remember who the author is. So it's Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole. I was going to say Vanessa. Hannah Nicole. I don't know if it's Maehrer, however you say it. That's what I think I'm going to read next. It was between this and The Court of the Serpent and the Wing, or whatever it's called, by Carissa Broadbent. That one is 500 pages, and to try to get that done in just over 24 hours seems impossible. And I'm trying to be realistic. So this one is only like 300 and some pages. I think I can get that done. I'm going to try to find an audiobook, and then I should really be able to get it done. And it just kind of seems like a good way to kind of end out the year. It will be my 15th book of December. I did have 2 DNFs, but I do count Like, if there's any book I read, I still count it towards like my overall total of books, but not necessarily how many were finished, if that kind of makes sense. Like, I still input those into my stats, but I make sure that like they only partially count, like the page count counts, because like I still read those pages, but not necessarily like the number of books read. So like, I feel like I'm explaining this so weird. So when you're looking at my Excel sheet of all the books I read, my DNFs are in there, but if you look at the book count, it matches what's on Goodreads, which doesn't count DNFs. So hopefully that makes sense. But yes, this will be my 15th book of the month, which is wild. I think it's also pretty wild that I haven't read that many 5 stars. I think maybe 2. But a lot of these holiday romances are really just like, they're not hitting that 5-star mark. It's almost there, but not. Come on, holiday romance. Pick it up. So yes, those are my reading plans. As far as life plans, you've probably heard this entire video somebody snoring, and that is because I have my dog niece here, and she is sleeping next to me, and she is basically the size of a seal, and because of that she snores like a human. So I will show you her in a minute. She is here because unfortunately my husband's grandma, she was put on hospice a few weeks ago, and she was told the week before Christmas that she probably only had a couple days left. She made it through Christmas. On Friday, she was told, okay, we seriously think she only has a couple days. So we went over there again yesterday. My husband has pretty much been over there every day except for like 2 days these last 2 weeks. And it's really just me forcing him to just like take some time to himself because my husband is very much like a do for others before you do for yourself kind of person. We went over there yesterday and I offered to take Sophie, my dog niece, so that way my mother-in-law could kind of get a break because like she takes care of grandma, she takes care of my brother-in-law, and then my brother-in-law's dog as well. So I offered to take her that way they could all kind of like get a break, plus like she has been very anxious because she kind of understands what's happening and there's so many people in the house. So I said I would take her so that like everyone can kind of get a break. And unfortunately, I'm going to hold it together. Okay. Unfortunately, a few hours ago, Grandma has passed. So that is 2 grandparents this holiday season who have passed for me. But that is life. My husband had a very bad feeling. He got like maybe 3 hours of sleep last night. He was just extremely restless, just bad dreams, couldn't sleep. I just had a really bad feeling. So he went over there this morning and she was doing I don't want to say she was doing very bad, but she was doing very much expected for this stage of life, and it was time. So he was there when she passed, luckily, because I feel like he would have regretted that. I stayed here with the dog, so that way, you know, she wasn't another burden on everyone, and he has stayed there to kind of like help with planning and arrangements and things like that. So I think that he is now headed home. So I kind of want to update you guys so that way I can just kind of focus on him tonight. Hopefully start Assistant to the Villain to kind of take my mind off things and just finish out the year as best as we possibly can. His grandma has been in my life for almost 20 years, which is wild. Zach and I have been together for almost 20 years. She was a great woman, at least in the time that I knew her. She has lived a fantastic life. She was, I think, 92, I want to say, but definitely in her 90s, and probably for the last at least 10 years, I would say, she has been saying that she is ready to go. So it was very much her time. She was ready. You know, she passed peacefully, surrounded by family, and that's truly all you can hope for. I mean, you can hope that people live forever, but at the same time, she really, really didn't want to. It has definitely been a rough month, I would say. My husband is starting a new job come the new year. We've had loss, we have had holidays. It's just like extreme ups and downs for the last 30 days. And I think like, especially these last 2 weeks of just kind of like waiting for the shoe to drop has been very rough on my husband. And as his support, you know, it's been a time. It has been a time. So now I think I'm going to head downstairs. I have just been like working on my computer today, getting my reading journal for 2025 ready. It is set, it is complete. I'm so excited to use it. It is so cute and lovely and I just love it. And just like updating my Excel sheets and everything because I have not been keeping track of my books this month. So I had a lot of backlog to get through. So yeah, I'm gonna head downstairs. I'm going to figure out dinner. More than likely not update you at all tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow for New Year's Eve and hopefully finish out the year on a slightly more positive, or at least positive is coming kind of note because, geez, I almost completely forgot to show you guys Sophie. Come here. Like, look at her. She's a seal. Ignore how messy my office is, but I have blankets and stuff down for her and for the cats. Like, look at her. She's just Smormus. She's just a big old seal. But we love hers. Yes, we love hers. Look at that face. Look at that face. Hey guys, happy New Year's Eve. I am so ready to just like relax, eat some dinner. I've had a really good day so far today. It's been like a nice like chill, cozy day. I'm just spending it how I kind of want 2025 to be. And that's just with like good books, cozy, spooky, happy, positive vibes with my husband, all that. So it's been a really good day so far. I'm hoping the rest of the night stays good. And I definitely plan on watching The Ball Drop and to start my first book of 2025, which will be in the next vlog. Now, as far as reading, I did read one last book. So I did start a total of 15 books this month. And I did start and finish Assistant to the Villain. It was so freaking good, you guys. I'm so excited that I picked this as my last book. I'm so excited I got it done. I did listen to the audio of it and I highly recommend the audio. I think the audio narrator did a really good job of it. It's definitely like, it reminds me of Lights Out, only in the sense, it's like such a strange comparison. It reminds me of Lights Out just in the way of how like funny and silly goofy it is. And I love that. Like, I feel like in 2025, I really need to read more funny, silly books because I really think that's like where I thrive, especially if there's a romance involved. The focus of the book isn't a romance, but there is a romance in it. And the only thing that really happens is like a kiss and just like mutual internal pining, which I love. I love a slow burn. I love when we can see both POVs so that we can see just how much each other means to them without the other one really knowing. And it was just so fun and cozy and whimsical and I just loved it. I loved it so much. I have seen mixed reviews. So like Chandler Ainsley is saying that book 2 wasn't that good, especially compared to book 1. Katie Colson is saying book 2 is just as good. If you look at the average Goodreads reviews, book 2 has a higher average rating than book 1, which is nuts. I feel like that never happens. So I'm going into it cautiously optimistic. I'm not positive when I'm going to read it. Maybe I will read it in January. I'm not sure because this is the year of me tentatively planning out a TBR and just mood reading. So that will be interesting to see when I read it because I just absolutely loved it. It does end on a cliffhanger and I'm excited to like go forward and see what the series has in store for me. I know book 3 comes out in August, I think. So I could always wait to read book 2 a little bit closer to August. So that way, if that also ends on a cliffhanger, that I immediately have that one. But yeah, it was so good. 5 out of 5 stars, obviously. Best book of the month. Stole the show right at the end. So good. So if this is a book that you've been kind of thinking about, that you're like, people say it's good, but I don't know. It's so good. It's so good. Just read it. So good. I absolutely loved it. Overall, 2024 has definitely had some wild ups and downs, some definite downs towards the towards the end of the year. And I'm ready for 2025 to hopefully be better. I'm definitely not saying, 2025 my year, this, it's going to be amazing. It's not. We're going to walk in quietly, cautiously, slowly, okay? We're not trying to upset anything. We're not trying to make any waves. I just want 2025 to be smooth. I just want to live. I just want to survive, okay? And be as low stress as possible. So we'll see what the next year brings us. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end the vlog now, since I'm going to be starting my first books of 2025 vlog. I don't know if I'm going to start it immediately or if I'm going to wait until tomorrow when I wake up, because I'm also not sure of when I'm going to start a book. I think I might go ahead and just wait. But I hope that you guys slightly enjoyed this vlog a little bit more than the last one. I still feel like not enough exciting things are happening, but I always hear other booktubers say that, of like, oh yeah, like this vlog wasn't very exciting. It doesn't have to be exciting. Like, I just enjoy spending time with them virtually, voyeuristically, and I'm sure you guys feel the same way. So thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Don't forget to keep reading, stay safe, and I will see you next year. Bye.